5 minutes away to let her daughter know that she is close by. But Mary forgot one thing.
Boy, second ticket for the day. I don't know, nah? I really don't know. Well, I tell you.
After 2 tickets, Mary just isn't paying attention to her speed.
You see a fixed penalty noted, fixing speed by 15 kilometers. After 30 years up here, 15 years a contest.
It has short other people. Look at other people passing. All they ain't seen them. All they seen me, right? Eh? All they too wicked.
Don't be like Mary. Obey the laws of the road. A message from the TTPS. Some of us like to test limits, but there won't always be second chances. Obey the speed limits. Maybe you don't value your life, but others value theirs. A message from the TTPS.
Sportsmanship is when an athlete walks off the court and you can't tell if he won or lost because he carries himself with pride either way. This quote is an embodiment of sport, and for me, sport is an embodiment of life. We are where you are.
You're watching CNC3.
A very good morning, I'm Akash Samaru with headline news on CNC3 and the TBC radio network. Protesters Alyssa Phillip, her mother Camille Carrasquero, and Jason De Silva remain in police custody as of this morning, as charges have still not been laid against them. Phillip and Carrasquero were arrested as they staged a demonstration near the DPP's office on Richmond Street, while De Silva was arrested shortly before the protest began. CNC3 News was told that attorneys representing those detained would be available to provide a statement and an update on the situation at 3 p.m. yesterday. However, no one was available to speak publicly on the matter up to news time last night. Political leader of the Patriotic Front, Michaela Pandey, is criticizing the Prime Minister over her response to Wednesday's protest. In a statement yesterday, Pandey described the PM's comments as extremely disappointing after protesters were labelled grifters and accused of publicity farming. Pandey says citizens have a right to raise concerns about crime and warned against creating division between the police and the public. She also argued that extending the state of emergency is not a substitute for a long-term anti-crime strategy, adding that mocking citizens will not make Trinidad and Tobago safer. And the Health Ministry says the Eastern Regional Health Authorities at this time actively managing several suspected cases of chickenpox. It has been identified among healthcare workers at the Sangre Grande Hospital campus. Exposed staff members as well as frontline workers are being prioritized for a targeted vaccination drive. Health education and sensitization sessions are being conducted with hospital staff, and the Health Ministry adds that there is no indication of widespread community transmission associated with these cases, and that the situation remains under close surveillance. Well, stay tuned for another news update at the top of the hour and for comprehensive coverage in our midday news and major newscast at 7 p.m. on CNC3.
You're watching CNC3.
All right, good morning. Today, Friday, the 29th of May, 2026. And yes, I'm in my full regalia this morning in commemoration of Indian Arrival Day that we will celebrate tomorrow. It's not a public holiday in terms of falling in the week per se, but I guess those who, probably some might get the Saturday off, but the majority will be out and moving. But nonetheless, the commemoration, the holiday, and the significance of the holiday continues. And today's entire program is dedicated to the very important day on our holiday calendar. So from 1845 to present day, the journey continues for our East Indian brothers and sisters. And today, this weekend, a matter of fact, for all time, we continue to celebrate. So let's get the ball rolling. I'll give you the full rundown as to our guests on this, we could say, Indian Arrival Day, well, the pre-holiday special, right here on the Morning Brew. I'm going to run in. See you soon.
No more Mother Africa, no more Mother India, just Mother Trini. My Mahuta Japlanted sugar cane, down in the Caroni plain, Ramlogan Bastel, Pakashanai, Jahaji.
That's right. Let it play, that brother Marvin. Oi. Yes. Let it pump. Tune. That is a tremendous track right here. With that being said, good morning one and all. Jason Williams signing on, and as promised, it's going to be a tremendous one this Friday morning, our Indian Arrival Day special. From now straight up until 8 o'clock, it's music, it's dance, it's delicacies, and the very important discussion with top personalities. I'll give some names momentarily. Let's, as per always and per usual, get into the front page of the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. And I can tell you, the saga really continues. There is lots to discuss, and based on a TTPS briefing yesterday, we have now been told that there are certain areas, and I'll give you some of the zones. As it says here, off limits. TTPS declares 15 no protest zones in wake of the Kaya Sealy demonstration and the clash and the fallout from that interaction on, that was what, Wednesday? Yes, it was. So let me give you some of the areas of interest. The no protest zones are as follows in no particular order. The Parliament of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, so of course the Red House, the Office of the President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, that's on Circular Road in St. Anne's, Port of Spain, the Office of the Prime Minister, 13 to 15 Sinclair Avenue, that's the one very close to, is that the one close to QRC? Yes, I think, no, a matter of fact, I think the Office of the Prime Minister now moved to Whitehall. Right, yes, I'll confirm that one. I think it's Whitehall. That's around the Savannah. The Diplomatic Center, no protests in that area. Office of the Attorney General, the Ministry of Finance, Eric Williams Financial Complex, no protests in that space. The Ministry of Defense, right on Abercrombie Street, no protests. The Ministry of Homeland Security, the headquarters of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, the headquarters of the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service, the headquarters of the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, Piaco International Airport, the ENR Robinson International Airport in Crown Point, and finally, the Port Authority of Trinidad and Tobago. All details inside today's Guardian on page 5. You can read more about it. As we again extend the details here on the front page, we are seeing where, well, the Prime Minister, she, based on her utterances and words, seems to be very much supportive of the TTPS action. She's calling it the swift action to secure the DPP. Last Wednesday, well, this Wednesday, that story develops more on page 6 inside The Guardian. On page 6 also, the opposition leader calling for the end of the state of emergency. And finally, we are seeing Alfonso resigns as Paria Fuel Chair. That's Nairi Alfonso. That story develops on page 7. And for those in Tobago wondering what's the latest via the jet ski development and that circular argument, well, we're seeing that jet ski operators to return to Pigeon Point, however, serious restrictions. So that's on page 10. And I'm guessing our brothers and sisters in Tobago will have to work this one out and find some kind of middle ground, find some kind of balance. Next week, we will definitely do a deep dive into that story. Of course, we will stand by for details in that regard. You know, we always get into our Tobago Talks segment, and I'm happy it happens. It takes place on a Wednesday because next week, Thursday, it's going to be a public holiday. So no public holiday for the arrival day this year. It falls tomorrow, Saturday. However, we still celebrate. That's right. Let's head to the back page, some tennis action. That's Osaka with a master return there. This is all going down in the French Open tennis tournament. Of course, I know many getting ready for football. Champions League this weekend. Arsenal, PSG. Wishing the Gunners the best. World Cup around the corner. All right. Some cricket happening too on the women's side. But indeed, there is also tennis. And I know there are many who love their tennis. Also NBA going down to the business end of their season. So for the sport lovers, there is something for everyone. And on that tip, before I head to the brief, I really want to wish the Arsenal team, the Gunners, the very best tomorrow. If indeed we are able to get over the line, you know, again, these are scenarios that could go anyway. But if we're able to get over the line, it will be the perfect cherry on top what has been a beautiful season. Oh my goodness. We'll talk some more about that, of course, on Monday. Speaking about games, UE Games. That's some action there from the UE Games. Abuko Jambi there in the, what it looks like, is that a quadrangle? It looks like, yeah, right there in the heart of UE campus in St. Augustine. There was a culture night on Tuesday, and all the athletes and the contingent from Mona, from Cave Hill, they got a chance to get in real time a taste of the Trinidad and Tobago culture and our cultural expression. So, well done, the UE Games, the grand finale and prize giving, and their cool down, it happens later this evening at Spec, right back to the quadrangle. I know the athletes will have a time, and their memories of Trinidad will live with them for many, many years to come. Also, as we look towards the brief, congratulations and we say commendation to a Trini who has been appointed as Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court CJ. That's Trinidadian Judge Margaret Price Findlay, I think it is. So, congrats. All smiles here on the brief. So as mentioned, we're going to get a chance to tap into the history. 1845, that was the day, may a matter of fact, of 1845. Signal the start of what continues to be tremendous experience for Trinidad and Tobago. Not only did the indentured laborers from India come with that, I guess, the intention was obviously to bring that injection into the economic structure of the day, but when people arrive to a new space, a new place to live, they bring with them obviously their culture, their food, their religion, their traditions, their way of life, and it endures to this day. It's been able to merge and morph into what is the Trinidad and Tobago experience, current day 2026. But the journey started in 1845. To give some details in that regard, we come back after the break with our first guest, who will do a bit of a deep dive into the history and the influence on today's society. Dr. Jerome Tilak Singh, historian, he joins me. Then later on, Dr. Visham Birmal, founder of Caribbean Hindustani, dealing with the Trinidad Bhojpuri and language. So we're dealing with history first and then language. But up next, Dr. Jerome Tilak Singh on this, your Indian Arrival Day.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors, and roti makers. Try our high-quality bromate-free, all-purpose, and whole wheat flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg, and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisho Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit us at Warrenville, Canoopia. Shiklisho Limited. Quality you can trust. Recession have you down? Don't lose hope. Head on down to Tire Clinic for the recession deals. That should big savings with our road hazard warranty on Dunlop, Tomitomo, and Falcon tires. Available at Tire Clinic, Cuba, Chaguanas, and Pleasance Park. Tire Clinic, a tire for every need. Call 636-8973 or 636-2958.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800 Trin or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800 Trin or visit trinry.com today. Trinry, premier insurance coverage for less.
Okay, let me see you, Cherry Hill. Yeah, now take it back. Let me see you rock off, shake off. Let me see you rock off. Let me see you kick right. Now step forward, now step back.
Lucozade, bring the energy.
Rock off,
unbeatable
rock
taste,
off.
new look.
Shake off. Let me see you rock off.
Panadol's new formula, 5 times faster than other paracetamol brands. There's no time to waste during special moments. When I need fast pain relief, I choose Panadol Rapid. With its new formula and exclusive technology, it's 5 times faster than other paracetamol, giving me effective pain relief. And it's also gentle on my stomach. Because my greatest gift is giving them special moments.
Backed by popular demand, Food Basket Marketplace, Arima, Shagwana, Champlain, and Gulfview, where the saving never stops. Spend $500 or more, and you can choose one of these free giveaways: a gallon twist juice, a gallon bleach, or 5-liter vinegar. And hear this, the savings keep getting bigger and better. Spend $1,000 or more, and choose one of these amazing free giveaways: a hibiscus 10-kilogram flour, or 8 kilograms ground rice. So come and save big with Food Basket Marketplace, Arima, Shagwana, Champlain, and Gulfview. Food Basket Marketplace, where shopping is a pleasure and the price is right.
Love eating spicy food, but soon after, that familiar discomfort begins. Heartburn, acid reflux, and bloating. Introducing Peptica Gel, formulated with aluminum hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide, and simethicone to help neutralize excess acid. It's sugar-free with no chalky aftertaste and a pleasant orange flavor. Peptica Gel works fast to relieve heartburn, acid reflux, gas, and bloating, so you can feel comfortable again and get back to enjoying life. Peptica Gel, get the relief you need today. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Legends need to be celebrated while they can still hear the applause. Trinidad and Tobago, let's show our appreciation for this Calypso giant in Thank You, David.
Saturday, June 6th at Napa, Port of Spain. Sunday, June 7th at Sapa, San Fernando.
2 nights, 1 legend, countless unforgettable songs.
Celebrating King David in his presence and performing some of his many hits include Roger George, KV Charles, Kriston Joseph, Terry Lyons, Adrian Filbert, Irvin Alves, Chuck Gordon.
Special guests for Napa is Super Bandman, Dane Gulston, and the Lydian Singers.
Special guest for Sapa is world record holder Joshua Regrello and the Southern Esquire, MC Sonny Bling.
Tickets bought by this Saturday, 30th May, cost $25 less. If stocks last, for more info, call 491-1802.
Thank you, David.
Lucozade, bring the energy. Unbeatable taste, new look.
Step into ABC Doors and Windows, where quality meets variety. Discover premium wooden, steel panel, fiberglass, and steel security doors alongside aluminum, UPVC, and steel windows designed for strength and durability. At ABC, we're always a better choice, delivering products built to last and service you can rely on. Visit our showroom at 1 Chanka Trace, El Socorro South, or call 638-7184 to make your dream home a reality.
We cross the black water, we never come the same.
And of course, tomorrow, the official day for the holiday, it commemorates the first arrival of East Indian indentured laborers to Trinidad, May of 1845. That's the month, that's the year, to give a deeper perspective and to take us through what happened from then to 1917 when it came to an official end, and obviously what we experience now in terms of the culture, the food, the religion, the morphing, as it were, into the fabric that is Trinidad and Tobago. We welcome Dr. Jerome Tiloksing, historian. And you know, when it comes to history, we could talk all morning. That was my favorite and continues to be one of my favorite talking points. Dr. Tiloksing, let me say Happy Indian Arrival Day to you and yours. And of course, by extension, Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah. Same to you, the staff at CNC3 and Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning, and I'm happy to be here again.
Good morning indeed. So, you know, I was doing my own research. This is something that, you know, with all the different conversations we've had over the years, we recognize that, yes, 1845 was a significant year, and that entry really into the Trinidad space, people, obviously, they travel with their culture, their food, their religion, their customs, their way of life, and it endures up to this day. What do you think has been one of the greatest takeaways from the journey from then to now as we look at the contributions being made and continue to be made to the Trinidad and Tobago society?
I believe it is difficult to pinpoint one contribution because we have the Indo-Trinidadians have made such a variety of contributions in the political sphere, the business, you know, education, law, various fields, cuisine, you know, language. They came with Bhojpuri, Hindi, Urdu. You know, they came with a different type of dress. You know, the pugri, the men were wearing the pugri, the shalawar, garara, saris. So it's on a multitude of fronts.
That's right. Now, obviously, Trinidad and Tobago is not the only country in the region. I know Guyana also received a lot of indentured laborers. Just walk us through the impact in terms of the region and where it got the most. Because I'm thinking, when I'm looking at the notes, it is saying about over 100,000 based on that 1845 to 1917 period came to Trinidad and Tobago. Walk us through some of the numbers in other jurisdictions.
But Guyana had almost double. It was called British Guyana then, and we had fewer numbers in Grenada, St. Lucia, Jamaica, and you know, a lot of people don't even know that some of the French colonies like Suriname also have, and Martinique, a relatively high Indian population because of indentureship. So it wasn't something confined to the British colonies, and this is something we need to appreciate, that we have persons of Indian descent in French-speaking territories and even Spanish-speaking territories.
Yeah, because I'm seeing it's about 140,000 based on the rough estimate that came to Trinidad between 1845 to 1917. And the first point of entry was Nelson Island, which is another place I think we discussed recently.
Correct, and it's only from 1866, Nelson Island was used as that point for, you know, disembarking and checking the Indians. But before that, from 1845 to 1865, you know, they came directly to Port of Spain Harbor.
Also direct to the harbor?
Correct.
Was there any quarantine period? Because I know that happened at Nelson Island before the indentured laborers were off to the estates to work. What was the process from 1845 to 1865 as mentioned?
There was no quarantine because labor was needed so urgently. So it might have been 1 or 2 days, you know, just to clean up the Indians or so who came down on the ships and then was off to the various estates. And let me add, a lot of times we think indentureship was sugar, but we also had Indians going to the cocoa, coffee, coconut and estates, and also the rice fields also had Indians.
Was there any kind of integration with the indentured laborers coming to a new space, coming to a new land with people already existing and living on the island? Yeah. I asked this based on, you know, you had so many different reports. When you go through the history books, what's recorded based on the early days of the indentured laborer? What was their experience?
You see, the British try to present a rosy picture because they had taken, a lot of licks and criticisms from slavery. But if you examine some of the oral interviews and some of the newspaper reports, you realize that these Indians were considered aliens in this new homeland because the way they dressed, the way they spoke, their religions were Hinduism and Islam. So they were alienated, they were marginalized in their new society. There was a source of friction amongst the Africans because the Indians were working for lower wages. So it was because of economics that there was this tension between the two ethnic groups. That was one of the early causes of mistrust between the two races. But in terms of integration, it's amazing that the Indians were able to look away from some of the caste restrictions. You would have heard, the public would have heard the term Jahaji Bai. You would have heard that from the popular calypso, but Jahaji Bai, brotherhood of the boat, was very real. And this brotherhood and sisterhood continued on the plantations. They created bonds with Indians from other villages who came down to the Caribbean. And they also created bonds with some of the Africans on the estates. Let me mention to you that on the sugar estates, cocoa, coffee, coconut, Indians and Africans worked side by side. In the villages, after indentureship, when they moved out of the barracks, Indians and Africans had a very good relationship. They shared food from their gardens. They took care of each other's children. So it's an environment which I want to highlight where there was a sense of unity and there was integration.
Indeed. I want to thank you actually for a pen you would have sent myself and producer Nikisha. And on the pen it says, International Day of Remembrance of the Victims of Indentureship. And that day apparently is today, the 29th. So that's why I brought up the question of what was the treatment like, what was the early days in terms of that lived reality for the indentured laborers. And if you could elaborate some more as to, because first time I'm hearing of this, International Day of Remembrance of the Victims of Indentureship. Could you elaborate on the significance?
Yeah, my daughter initiated this day about 3 years ago, and I started to tell her the history of indentureship, the abuse, the discrimination that many of these Indians faced. The women they were raped. Many of the men were beaten, and of course, there was no legal system to address these grievances. It existed, but it was always biased in favor of the planters, in favor of the government. So that these Indians remain victims. Indentureship was always presented as something better than slavery, but the conditions were still brutal. And the resistance of the Indians, they continued to run away from the estates, they continued to revolt, they set fire to the plantations, they worked slow. So the same forms of passive resistance and active resistance that the Africans displayed, the Indians also displayed. Many of these Indians were beaten on a daily basis, and there was no sort of redress, no sort of protection.
Yeah. Well, it's a deeper conversation, I would imagine, for another day. As we look towards Arrival Day itself, which was firstly Arrival Day, that turned to Indian Arrival Day. It was firstly, I'm seeing here, heralded as a holiday back in 1994. And then it was, the renaming, as it will happen apparently the year after. Walk me through, could you recall the push to have this day as a holiday back in the 90s? Do you recall that particular momentum and movement and probably why it took so long?
Yeah, you see, we tend to have a recent memory. This is when the former Prime Minister, Patrick Manning, designated the day as Arrival Day. And people kicked up fuss and said, no, it has to be called Indian Arrival Day. And then former Prime Minister Basdev Pandey brought in Indian Arrival Day as something, as an official public holiday, from Arrival Day, Indian Arrival Day. But the population doesn't realize that something was brewing earlier. 1945, the centenary, 100 years, there was a huge celebration in Skinner Park in San Fernando where people recognized Indian Arrival Day. And in the 1960s, into the 1970s, there were actually groups that celebrated Indian Emigration Day, EMIGRATION. So you had groups pushing for this, and it's in 1979 that, you know, major groups like the Sanatan Dharma Mahasabha said they wanted Indian Arrival Day. They came together with other groups, collaboration. So what happened in 1994 and 1995, it's the end result of various NGOs and religious groups celebrating the day with processions and parades in a non-official way.
Okay, so the ball was rolling from, since you say, as early as 1945. And that's so unique because that was the same year of the war, World War II. World War II was still in progress. So I guess they were celebrating under some rather severe conditions, I would imagine, at Skinner Park.
Correct. World War II had ended. World War II was 1939 to 1945. So it was a time of uncertainty, a time of economic distress, social distress, you know, but it was something, a milestone for the Indian population.
In terms of the archives and the history, and for the East Indians who currently live in Trinidad, third, fourth, fifth generations from that time, where can they find, let's say, documents on their family name, on the history of their great-grandfather? Is there any particular place that you could see a register? Because I know lots of adjustments were done with people's last name, but the reality is there are many who can trace their great-grandfather, great-great-great-grandmother. Where do they go for that kind of information?
I would recommend, as the main starting point, the National Archives in Port of Spain. There are ship registers, actual ship registers in the handwriting of the British. So you would see people's names, first names, surnames, the age, what estate they're going to, the year they came down. Some people might have a difficulty understanding the handwriting, but it is one of the starting points. I also want to suggest to people who might find it a bit boring that there are many sources online. There are digitized sources now, sometimes sources from abroad. So you don't have to go to England to look at the archives. You know, some of these sources are already on the internet at our fingertips.
Was that trip on the Fatal Razak back in 1845 and the subsequent trips, was that a direct journey from India, and what part of India did they depart? Was it straight India to the Caribbean, and how long did that particular trip take back then?
It's a very good question because, you know, I believe the first trip took 103 days in 1845, but it all depended on the tides, the currents, the type of ship, you know, so sometimes it took shorter, sometimes it took longer. But I want to also address something that you brought up, and that is not all the Indians came from India into the Caribbean. Some of them who served their contract in Grenada or Guyana came to Trinidad. Some who served their contract in Trinidad went to St. Lucia to serve, so that there was a interchange. Some of them, Indians who served in Fiji, Mauritius, and other territories in the internship, they could also come into the Caribbean and continue serving their contract. So not all the Indians who came to Trinidad or the Caribbean came directly from India. They could have come from other colonies, other British colonies that were under the indentureship system.
You know, there's always this sentiment anytime somebody leaves their homeland to go somewhere, go into the unknown, to start over, to seek something different. There's this particular wish to return to their motherland. Many live out their lives are not able to do so. At what point, which generation were the first that were able to travel, head back to India, probably just go and even start something over in the next part of the world? What does history say as it pertains to folks being able to repatriate or just go back, as it were, to India or other parts of the world?
From the 1850s, you know, and continue until the end of indentureship, there were Indians who sought to return to India.
And they were given the opportunity? They were
given the opportunity. They were given the opportunity, but it was a difficult choice because when they went back to India, they were treated with contempt. They had broken that bond with India by crossing the ocean, the Kalapani, the dark waters. So they were not treated the same. Some of their relatives had died. They were now considered westernized. So some of them also didn't want to make that difficult trip. Some of them had a wife, some of them had children, but there was this ancestral pull to return to the motherland. So some of them did take the trip, but they also had the option to take land, to take money, right? And the land, of course, were given in inhospitable areas, right? So that they got land and often they couldn't access it or couldn't use it. They were landowners, but they still had to go and continue working on the estates. So it was a sort of dilemma for many of these Indians. Should they take that return trip? Should they leave Trinidad, which they had put down their roots for the last 5 years?
Very interesting. I didn't know that part of the history. I must say thank you for that, because I always got the impression that, it was almost like a one-way trip for many, and they were almost like duped, or people were tricked. That's the narrative, you hear that people were conned, as it were, being told, yes, you could return, but when you got here, realizing that to get back would have been almost impossible, but there were a few who you said made it back.
Correct.
Indeed. As we look towards Arrival Day, which is tomorrow, it's not in the week where we're getting the holiday per se, so I guess people will be up and about, busy, having their normal Saturday runs. What's the biggest message? What's your, Indian Arrival Day message, as it were, for 2026?
I want the population to remember that indianship is not just about Indians. Other ethnic minorities, the Chinese, the Syrians, the Lebanese, the Portuguese, there were even some French and Germans who came in under this system because Britain was looking for a reliable labor force. So we have to remember that is how we have this multicultural Trinidad and Tobago. There were other ethnic minorities who came down during this time, but they left the estates. And what I also want the population to know is that there are persons of Indian descent, the Dogla, persons who might be of Chinese and Indian descent, and they also have to be, included in any Indian Arrival Day celebration. And my final point is that indianship was about sacrifice. It was about sacrificing for the next generation. It was about resilience. It was about resistance. And I would like, the Trinidad and Tobago in 2026 to adopt that work ethic, adopt those values, and we would be a better country, and we would ensure that democracy survives. Because a lot of times, there are a lot of social problems. We stay quiet and we look the other way, and we need to adopt some of that, those values, those morals that were in indianship time. So this would be my message, that we reflect, on what made these people so devoted and determined to survive an environment that was considered unfriendly and against them.
Dr. Jerome Tilak Singh, as always, sincere thanks. Happy Indian Arrival Day to you and yours, as mentioned. Thank you for the pen, and we will touch base soon. We always have our history lesson here on the program, so I look forward. All the best.
Take care. Bye-bye.
That's right. From one academic to the next, we get ready to welcome yet again to the set founder of Caribbean Hindustani, Dr. Visham Bimal. And of course, as per usual, we deal with Bhojpuri, of course, language, and some more history. We do that deep dive. He's next.
Panadol's new formula, 5 times faster than other paracetamol brands. There's no time to waste during special moments. When I need fast pain relief, I choose Panadol Rapid. With its new formula and exclusive technology, it's 5 times faster than other paracetamol, giving me effective pain relief. And it's also gentle on my stomach. Because my greatest gift is giving them special moments.
Looking for the ultimate gaming experience? Welcome to Phase 22 Gaming Lounge, where gamers of all ages come to play, compete, and have fun. Dive into your favorite games on PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, or race on our high-tech racing rigs. And experience the thrill of VR with PlayStation and Meta Quest. Our lounge is safe, comfortable, and perfect for everyone. When you're done, check out the latest gaming systems, accessories, and even Samsung and Apple phones. Visit us on the second floor of Gulf City Mall or call 786-2404 to book your gaming session today.
Catch Sherwin Gardner live in Sold Out on Saturday 6th June at the Magdalena Grand in Tobago and Sunday 7th at Napa Port, Spain. Save $50 on tickets bought by Saturday 30th May. Available in Tobago, Cass Supermarket, Yachts Marketing, Orange Hill, Crosscutters, Scarborough, Caribbean Jewelers, Lowlands Mall, Victory Outreach Church, Scarborough, Dominion Appliances and Gift Shop, Conby, Tobago. In Trinidad, Crosby St. James, All Extra Food Supermarkets, Simon's Music Supplies, Port Street, all Kenny's Sports Stores, Dominican Bookstore, St. Finbar's Compound, Napa Box Office, online at islandetickets.com. For more info, call 358-6397. Sherwin Gardner, Sold Out.
We are your one-stop, most convenient, most helpful, most caring community pharmacy. Our pharmaceutical services include dispensing medicines, repeat dispensing, clinical governance. But we also have a fully stocked convenience store featuring our refreshment aisle, grocery lane, personal care products, toys, pet supplies. We are most conveniently located out of the traffic, just 2 minutes off the highway in Heartland Plaza in Devonshire Corners. Contact us on 220-8705 or 470-5938 and visit us soon.
Dr. Visham Bimal joins me. Always a pleasure to have Dr. Visham on the program. And let me extend Indian Arrival Day greetings to you and yours. This is our probably sixth. We try to actually count how many interactions we've had. Every time there's the holiday, we have a very important discussion because you teach me so much about the history, the language, the Bhojpuri. And I must say it's been a great learning curve for me. I've learned so much over the years from you, Doc. So welcome.
Sub Hindustani aane wala din. That's how we say it in Trinidad, Bhojpuri. Happy Indian Arrival Day.
Fantastic. You know, we're now talking on air, well, off air, about the elders, because of course your ancestors were the ones who, as you said, at home, they used to talk it. You heard it as a little boy. Did they keep? Because a lot of times when we look at the patois, the elders was, you know, talking, the big people talk, they didn't want the children to know what was happening, so they would speak in that native tongue. And a lot of times they didn't pass it on, and a lot of the authentic language, the patois and stuff, would have been lost. What's been the experience with the Bhojpuri?
All right, so I'm a medical doctor, right?
Yeah.
Speaking in this forum or a medical forum, I wouldn't speak English Creole. If I speak English Creole, I have a emotion of inferiority attached to it. So anyone, if they hear a person speaking Trinidad English Creole versus standard Trinidad English, out of context, they will assume that you're uneducated. I remember going to Suriname once and asking, well, what's the experience at school? Because, you know, in Suriname, the Indo-Surinamese still speak Suriname, they're Bhojpuri, right? Were you allowed to use it at school? And what about home? The parents are allowed to use it because they speak Dutch formally, right? And Suriname Tongo is like their Creole. So she was saying, and school is to make sure we don't speak Hindustani because they thought it would have kept us back. Me growing up, looking at my mom, because I did my family history. So on Dad's side, my great grandfather's name was Bimal, his brother was Timal, and he was a catechist in the Presbyterian Church in South, and that family moved up the social ladder faster, as opposed to being able to remain Hindus. That's one thing. Because I remember I was talking to Professor Jerome Tilak Singh. The language was important for upward social mobility. So the more English you know, and the less Hindustani and Creole you know.
And indeed, it was colonial times, so people was trying to speak the Queen's English, I would imagine.
Exactly.
So that would have given you a certain a certain favor, I would imagine, in society at that point in time.
Right. Mom's side, the famous Pandit Tilakdari, who was one of the founding members of the Mahasabha, we traced the family history. So that family came from what they call Brahmin stock. So I learned Hindi from mom's side of the family, which was quite interesting to read and write. So I became literate at age 11 and did it at UE. But I remember when I was doing it, my mom was she didn't sit well with her that I was learning Hindi, because I guess my aspirations towards being a medical doctor. So I guess her thought was that why doing that for that wasting time? That wouldn't help you in your profession. Little did I know, in learning it, I was able to, yes, be a medical doctor, now doing medical Spanish, and giving me the way with regard to language policy, with regard to immigrants in Trinidad, but also being able to do interpretation in Hindi and Urdu at the level of the government, where in police service or in immigration. So it is very important, irrespective of the language, to kind of have that general sense of academia, but also a sense of yourself and identity.
How important, as it pertains to language, as we talk in language, would have been the cultural impact? We're talking here as early as the radio days, back in the days with AM into FM, the Indian movie on a Sunday. I remember as a child, yes, there would have been subtitles, but there was a particular language. The language would have been, well, at the time I tell myself, well, that's Hindi. How important was that cultural impact, as it were, that continues to still be part of I would say, the media framework of Trinidad and Tobago?
Looking at the history, after the abolition, after dictatorship ended, right, they were allowed to move about, and this style called local classical singing or tan singing became popular. With regard to the language and cultural things that would happen, it would be local classical singing competitions, because at that time they didn't have any stuff on the media with regard to Hindustani or Hindi. And then moving up in the 1940s was the first Indian movie to come to Trinidad, Bala Joban. But remember, around that time, India was getting independence. And the standard of the Hindustani then during the is not the same as modern standard Hindi now. So obviously that would have changed even in media administration. So the first movie was in what they call modern standard Hindi. So you can imagine they speak Bhojpuri here, listening to modern standard Hindi, which is a different language, Portuguese versus Spanish, still some level of mutually intelligibility. But then they're hearing that from India and they think, but that's not how we speak, so probably that's the real thing. So one could imagine now that reckoning, looking back at the country, politically changed, even linguistically so. And then slowly after they had, I think, Booyah Saj and stuff where they had the bands, and when the Bollywood or the Hindi movies coming into Trinidad was something that kind of rallied them around. Because remember, going through the 1900s, especially coming to the 1950s and close to independence, education started to be free. So that because education was more accessible, you find lots of languages like Trinidad Bhojpuri and Patwa.
Doc, let me ask you, did the Bhojpuri spoken then, the authentic Bhojpuri from the mainland, when integrating now with Trinidad and Tobago, with the language that exists here, did you see a merging, as it were, of Bhojpuri with local words? And if so, could you give an example? Was there any kind of morphing, any kind of striking of a balance? Did the Bhojpuri even change in the Trinidad and Tobago experience?
So it would have changed. My nanny used to say kitchenwa behind the kitchen. Kitchenwa? Kitchenwa. So it's kitchen, English word kitchen.
Kitchen.
Adding the wa means the, so when you add wa to the end of the word, so now you're using the noun in English, kitchen, adding wa, meaning the kitchen, K behind is the postposition, in English is a preposition, behind the kitchen. That's literally what it means.
Kitchen wa, K behind.
Right. Table wa, K upar. Table wa, the table, K upar, on top of the table.
Wow.
So there was it's the same exact form Hindustani, but you replace it with English words. And then, like the word for factory was moulé, which is from French moulin, right? The word for week would be dimas, which is dimash, right? The original word is aitwar, aitwaru, a boy born on Sunday, but then eventually you find French words coming in. I grew up with my grandparents having what they call sapat, right? Now that was common not only within the Indo-Trinidadian context, but as well as the Patwa Creole context, right? And sapat comes from zapato. So sapat actually was a word in Patwa and Hindustani equally, as well as we say damadol. Nowhere in the Bhojpuri speaking diaspora that word exists. They still say tomato, right? Damadol comes from tomatoes from Patwa. So the word damadol wake chokha is uniquely Trinidadian in Trinidad Bhojpuri.
So we have been able to almost kind of put our tint, our slant on it, as it were, based on our experience. Is Bhojpuri spoken anywhere in Trinidad still? As any of the elders, any of the young people? I'm trying to figure out where. Have you gone anywhere and have been able to, in real time, just communicate?
If you go on Caribbean Hindustani, the Facebook page as well as the YouTube, I did a lot of interviews. So I became a medical doctor in 2005. And after that, I was posted in South Trinidad, in rural areas like Pinal, as the village of my Aja and Aji, my paternal grandparents. And there were a lot of people coming to the clinic who were diabetic and hypertensive, chronic disease over 80, and it was surprising the majority of them could have spoken Trinidad Bhojpuri. So I would have take their contact with the permission, go home, and I did interviews and I recorded them and got permission. So they posted on Caribbean Hindustani, you could see the interviews there. Of those, only 3 people alive. Right? Back then it was like, how do you say, coming to the clinic, I would meet about 3 or 4 people for the week. Right? So it's a language slowly on the decline, but through Caribbean Hindustani, what we've done is formalize our grammar. So we have done Trinidad Bhojpuri classes before, just like there are Patwa classes as well. In an attempt now, because you find the people who go abroad, let's say to the US and the UK, the secondary diaspora, they are seen by people from India, and they're seen by Caribbean people. Caribbean people find they're not Caribbean, and Indian people find they're not Indian. So they have this vacuum of some sense of identity. So over the years, I think through Caribbean Hindustani, we were able to kind of get that, because you see, remember, Hindi is not your ancestral language, it's really Bhojpuri. So a lot of times, even me, when you speak to people from India, they'll be like, but that's not the word, this is the word from Hindi. So it gives them that empowerment to say, no, well, our expression and the expression of our ancestors are also valid. And in a way, I think a lot of them have come back to me and say, well, you know, we didn't know this before, but this is really uniquely who we are, and it helps us explain that.
Amazing, because again, when somebody moves, any kind of movement, it starts with obviously language. You have to communicate. People obviously work with their religion, their culture, their food, but language, as human beings, that's how we, you know, there must be the language. And I wonder if there would have been any issues in that regard in the early part when the first indentured laborers made their way to Trinidad in 1845, in terms of coming to a place with a whole new language. I wonder how that, is there any documents that would have highlighted what that early experience was like, language-wise?
No, remember, when indentured laborers came in the early parts of indentureship, a lot of them came from Madras, so they didn't even speak Bhojpuri, they spoke Tamil. They were quite small, and they came within a mass community that spoke mostly dialects of Bhojpuri. So in that small community, I guess it gives a kind of a macrocosm of what would have happened a microcosm, not what happened in macrocosm, where they would speak Tamil at home, but they had to assimilate to the Bhojpuri community. So all the Tamil speakers, at least those that would have been recorded in the past, none alive now, would have been bilingual or trilingual, because they spoke Tamil at home, Bhojpuri within the community, and then Creole English on the outside when they go to the market and stuff like that, and even Patwa. So it's nothing new, because remember, even in Trinidad, we have Venezuelan immigrants coming to Trinidad because of the political situation in Venezuela. But if you pick up the Venezuelan people, just pick up these contextual expressions in English and use it, they have plenty, something like that. And they use the word plenty, which means mucho in Spanish.
Yes.
But because I guess you could pick up these phrases within context and use it, that is actually the fastest way to learn a language, and actually learning a language at school, being in the actual interaction.
Yes, like immersing yourself in it.
Yeah.
As we look to wrap things up, what's your Indian Arrival Day message for this calendar year 2026?
For all, a lot of people ask me, when I travel abroad, they assume I'm from India, right? Because of how I look. I remember the first time I had gone to the UK and Kasha said, "You from Trinidad?" I was so proud, because that's the first time I went abroad and somebody just watched me or listened to how I speak and say I'm Trinidadian. So I want to tell the message really is, be proud in your Trinbago identity. You would be amazed at how unique it is, how it's so internationally marketed, and you should really take pride in that.
Dr. Visham Bimal, all the best as always. If folks want to keep in touch with you and learn more about language, how can they get in touch?
So Caribbean Hindustani, that's the Facebook page, as well as Caribbean Hindustani, the YouTube page, and all the contact information is there.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks.
All the best, yes. With that, we're going to take a pause and come back. A couple of housekeeping details to take care of, and we're going to work our way to the 7 a.m. news updates. See you soon.
Gardner live in Sold Out on Saturday 6th June at the Magdalena Grand in Tobago and Sunday 7th at Napa Porta, Spain. Save $50 on tickets bought by Saturday 30th May. Available in Tobago, Cass Supermarket, Yachts Marketing, Orange Hill, Crosscutters, Scarborough, Caribbean Jewelers, Lowlands Mall, Victory Outreach Church, Scarborough, Dominion Appliances and Gift Shop, Conby, Tobago. In Trinidad, Crosby St. James, all Extra Food Supermarkets, Simon's Music Supplies, Port Street, all Kenny's Sports Stores, Dominican Bookstore, St. Finbar's Compound, Napa Box Office, online at islandetickets.com. For more info, call 358-6397. Sherwin Gardner, Sold Out.
Gaming Express Limited is a premium importer and retailer of the highest quality brand name electronics. We stock the widest range of PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Samsung, and Apple devices and accessories. Visit us at Shop 52, Level 2, Gulf City Mall in San Fernando, or contact us by phone or WhatsApp message at 687-7480 or 301-9797 or 798-1280. Like our Facebook and Instagram pages for updates on products and services.
Mom, Dad, this is Trevor.
Hi. He's no Kieran. Back up.
Fling? That's why he crossed the road. It was funny when Kieran said it.
Oh, who could that be?
We're like the parents who don't miss your ex.
I can't believe Kieran is in the neighborhood.
CG United. Good like that.
Living with diabetic neuropathy is exhausting. The burning pain and tingling that won't go away? Introducing Myolaxin D Gel, made for pain relief. Fast absorbing, non-greasy, and easy to apply. Its Carbomer gel formula delivers relief deep at the nerve level. Oleoresin capsicum helps reduce pain signals, while diclofenac eases inflammation. Menthol and camphor provide fast, soothing comfort, so the pain eases and comfort returns. Size doesn't matter. This 15-gram tube gives you maximum relief. Myolaxin D Gel, available at pharmacies nationwide.
But when I send my letter, she will send no answer. So I hit the record shops. Indian records are fire. When I read my girl, she said, Ricky.
Welcome back. Just watching some notes there. I think we're getting ready for, is it the weather update? I think we're going to step into the weather and get ready for the 7 a.m. So we have some sweets, some delicacies we're going to treat with inside the second hour. We're going to treat with some music, some tassa. Oh, it's a fantastic show carded on this Friday. Final Friday for us in the month of May, but the day before Indian Arrival Day holiday. Let's check in with Sagoni for our weather update.
Hi there, I'm Sigoni Mohammed with your daily dose of weather. We're taking a look at what's going out there, and right now we do see a ridge pattern that remains the dominant feature across the general area. And when we say ridge, we really mean that we're expecting mostly dry and stable weather. Now, while conditions remain mostly settled for us in Trinidad and Tobago, we are watching a tropical wave in the area that's moving in, and at this stage, only minimal shower activity is expected from it. Now, we're also continuing to monitor a layer of Saharan dust across the southern southern Caribbean, and that's giving skies that slightly hazy look. So over the next 18 to 36 hour period, we can expect another generally sunny, breezy, and even hazy day with a few partly cloudy spells and the risk of a brief isolated shower, especially coming in during the afternoon period. Temperature-wise, we remain hot across the islands and winds remain fairly brisk, and that's going to be coming out from the east to east-southeast at times, somewhere between 10 and 40 kilometers per hour. Now, in terms of our seas, they do remain moderate for open water interest. We're still maintaining that 2 to 2.5 meter height, while we're seeing in those sheltered areas, it's going to get up to about 1.5 meters at times. And a reminder that spring tides are in effect, so all marine interests, you are advised to exercise caution, especially during the high tide time and during nearshore activities. Ideally, only a few quick showers are around, but rougher seas and spring tides continue to demand attention along the coast. With that, that's your weather forecast. That's it from me.
Sigoni, sincere thanks. So based on what she's saying, it might just get a little sprinkle here or there for this, well, I can't even say long weekend because the holiday falls on a Saturday. Obviously, you know, many will still take the moment to enjoy and to really celebrate. And by all means, I myself looking forward to not only the weekend, but more discussions next week. We look forward to at least a chance to break down some of the major talking points. We kind of put that on the back burner for this morning. We want to keep it within the theme and vein and context of the Indian Arrival Day holiday. So I can safely say inside the next hour, some tassa. We deal with some delicacies because the cuisine, yes, a very integral part to the experience. So sit back, relax, enjoy. It's your Indian Arrival Day celebration, our special, the day before the holiday, right here on the Morning Brew. We come back with more after 7.
Cause music is the food of love. But now I had to come up with new tricks.
Get the story first. Want to know what's happening in news, sports, or crime? Get the CNC3 app. As the story breaks, CNC3 is there giving you the story first on your mobile device. Be connected to the most trusted and reliable news source, CNC3. Access your world with just a tap. The CNC3 app. Download it today.
Time check, brought to you by the Central Bank and the National Financial Literacy Program.
A very good morning, I'm Akash Samaru with headline news on CNC3 and the TBC radio network. There are now 15 no protest zones as the police service moves to clamp down on what it describes as rowdy public demonstrations in sensitive areas. Those locations include the Parliament, the Prime Minister's office, and the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. But questions persist over whether the restrictions which came into effect on Wednesday were specifically designed to shut down the Kaya Sealy demonstration in the capital. At a TTPS media conference yesterday, asked directly if these new restrictions were hurriedly put in place to stop the protest outside the DPP's office, DCP Junior Benjamin said,
when these decisions are made, all right, it is made in the best interest of Trinidad and Tobago. When we recognize that there are key areas, and again, you recognize that it's not just one area, even in the regulation, and even though it was not stated, you will see that it is key places.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister is applauding the police service for what she described as swift action in securing the DPP's office during Wednesday's protest. In a statement on social media yesterday, Kamla Prasad Bisesa hailed the move, noting that it protected against what she described as intimidation, harassment, and possible harm. She further accused the opposition PNM and criminal elements of promoting lawlessness, hatred against police, racist rhetoric, and mob intimidation tactics. She maintained that anti-police rhetoric could place officers and prosecutors in danger. And the TTPS says it supports the use of body cameras, as Deputy Police Commissioner Junior Benjamin revealed that steps are now being taken to bring body cams into service. This comes amid continued public concerns over police shootings, accountability, and public trust in law enforcement.
Last week we had a notice of interest placed on, I think, the papers. So we are seeking to at least have the first stage in really getting the whole information in terms of the procurement process, and it is our intention to see how we can address that, as soon as possible.
When CNC3 News asked for a timeline on the procurement process, no response was provided. At the start of the year, Benjamin told CNC3 News there were 180 usable body cameras. CNC3 News reached out for an update on that figure, and we were told just about 120 body cams are active at the moment. We'll stay tuned for another news update at the top of the hour and for comprehensive coverage in our midday news and major newscast at 7 p.m. on CNC3.
Welcome back inside this, your second hour. Today, the 29th of May, final Friday in the month of May, and we are getting ready for the Indian Arrival Day holiday, officially carded for tomorrow. But we celebrate. We start the celebration one time. And what I want to do is, before we get into some of the discussions and the delicacies and the tassa and all the goodness, carded for the second hour, a quick reminder as to how you can book your spot. That's right. Come next week if you want to come sit with us, have a conversation. You're sending your email to tmb@cnc3.co.tt. Really simple, concise, to the point, and our producer will get back to you in due course. Let's head across to our social media handles. Instagram, Facebook, and X, very active. At CNC3 News, at CNC3 Television, and CNC3 TV, #TMB. Yeah, man. Follow and stay on top of all what's happening. Another platform to do that is the CNC3 mobile app, your #1 source for verified breaking news, all your favorite content, and programming details on demand. Get it today. And let's move across to the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. Get your copy today, Friday, and of course look out for the Indian Arrival Day edition tomorrow. And for those who want to enjoy the Guardian on their tablet, laptop, computer, on your smartphone, we want you to visit www.guardian.co.tt for your subscription. Get it today. We move into our food for thought, and we read together this Friday morning. Even if you are a minority of one, the truth is the truth. Again, even if you are a minority of one, the truth is the truth. And the truth will always remain the truth. The truth remains consistent, is when you're telling untruth, when you're lying, when you're doing the art of fabrication. You have to remember, because the stories continue to change. But the truth will remain the truth, because it's how it happened, and it's how you will always recall it. Well done. Great words. Let's get ready for a video that, from what I understand, came out yesterday in commemoration of Indian Arrival Day, in time for the celebration tomorrow. It's from Caitlin Sultan. That's right. Remember Caitlin, who would have been here with us on numerous occasions. Beautiful little girl, very talented, a bright future ahead. Her parents are there with her, guiding her on the way. So we want all the best for Caitlin, and she is going places. And of course, one of the seasoned campaigners in the music game, GI. So it's a GI and Caitlin combination with a beautiful song in time for Indian Arrival Day. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
With papers in his hand, said this gold across the wall. keep we mother song. We keep we mother's name.
From Calcutta to the harbor, Brahmin sitting with Chamar, the Caspian to die, all sat together under the sky. Patel Razak chop the anchor in the Gulf of Paria. They give Gurmitya paper, signed 5 years of labor, 25 cents a day to break my back. Cotton came to Haji Bai and him from pain we born again. Kalapani, Kalapani, cross the water, face the pain. Kalapani, Kalapani, Jahaji Bai, we feel the same. Kalapani, Kalapani, cross the water, face the pain. Kalapani, Kalapani, Jahaji Bai, we feel the same.
Brother of the boat, sister of the boat, same wood beneath we feet, same salt in we throat. We cross the black water, we never come the same. But we keep we mother song. We keep we mother's name.
Sundar proposing chutney, Dr. David saving trainees, Kavi Misery tell the story for everybody. Prime Minister Kamla Prasad, great granddaughter of the land. We all hand in hand in Guyana, Trinidad. Kalapani, Kalapani, cross the water, face the pain. Kalapani, Kalapani, Jahaji Bai, we feel the same. Kalapani, Kalapani, cross the water, face the pain. Kalapani, Kalapani, Jahaji Bai, we feel the same.
Brother of the boat, sister of the boat, same wood beneath we feet, same salt in we throat. We cross the black water, we never come the same. But we keep we mother song. We keep we mother's name. Everybody say
Kalapani, Kalapani, cross the water, face the pain. Kalapani, Kalapani, Jahaji Bai, we feel the same.
Jahaji Bai, we feel the same.
Jahaji Bai, we feel the same.
Caitlin Sultan, GI, Maha Productions. Salute.
Kalapani, that's right, Caitlin and GI in combination on this Indian Arrival Day, at least the pre-Indian Arrival Day celebration show. And we keep it within the theme, we keep it uplifting, we try to make you smile and try to bring a good energy going into this weekend. And up next, I get a chance to get into some delicacies, you know, my favorite part of the program. So it's your Mind Your Business, and we're gonna treat with the treats. It's up next, and we're gonna welcome Dawn Ramkisoon Ali from Aurora Fine Delights. Oh yes, stand by.
Mama tied a bundle with her tears left inside. Sister kissed me last time, didn't know was goodbye.
Magical Expressions Limited is the largest local importer and distributor of fresh cut stems, offering the widest range of beautiful flowers at the most affordable prices. Call us today at 701-6488 or visit our website to order.
Introducing CTS College's Early Learners Academy, our physical school with a nursery, daycare, and preschool. With qualified and experienced staff, modern classrooms, and the latest teaching methods and technology, your child would get the personal care and education they deserve. Activities include potty training, storytelling, phonics, craft, academics, and field trips. Enroll your child today at CTS College's Early Learners Academy.
Okay, let me see you, Cherry Hill. Yeah, now take it back. Let me see you rock off, shake off. Let me see you rock off. Let me see you kick right. Now step forward, now step back.
Lucozade, bring the energy.
Rock off,
Unbeatable
rock
taste,
off.
new look.
Shake off. Let me see you rock off.
Too fat Fellas celebrates its final performance in San Fernando, Naparima Bowl.
One night, one show, Saturday, May 30th, night of the holiday.
2 Fat Fellas stars, Cecilia, Penny, Kevon, Zachary, Raisha, and Rody.
The ridiculously funny comedy is at Naparima Bowl for one final night.
Tickets available at Dormont Shoe Store, Long Circular Mall, Anthony's Floral Val Park, K-Square Stores, Eastgate Mall, Brentwood Plaza, C3 Center, Athletes by the Park, Southern Food Basket, Coffee Street, and Point Fortin. Naparima Bowl box office opens on Thursday, the 28th of May. Also online at islandtickets.com. For more info, text or call 683-0356 or 683-4843.
Check out our early bird special online at Island E-Tickets. 2 Fat Fellas.
Your heart, brain, and body with omega-3. Packed with essential fatty acids, omega-3 helps support heart health, brain function, and overall wellness. Whether you're staying active, focused, or simply living life to the fullest, make omega-3 part of your daily routine. Live healthier with omega-3. Wellness that works from within. Tune in to Wellness Unlocked on CNC3 Sundays at 5 p.m., also on Monday and Wednesdays at 9:30 a.m.
Backed by popular demand, Food Basket Marketplace, Orima, Shagwana, Champlain, and Gulfview, where the saving never stops. Spend $500 or more, and you can choose one of these free giveaways: a gallon twist juice, a gallon bleach, or 5-liter vinegar. And hear this, the savings keep getting bigger and better. Spend $1,000 or more, and choose one of these amazing free giveaways: a hibiscus 10-kilogram flour, or 8 kilograms ground rice. So come and save big with Food Basket Marketplace, Orima, Shagwana, Champlain, and Gulfview. Food Basket Marketplace, where shopping is a pleasure and the price is right.
Panadol's new formula, 5 times faster than other paracetamol brands. There's no time to waste during special moments. When I need fast pain relief, I choose Panadol Rapid. With its new formula and exclusive technology, it's 5 times faster than other paracetamol, giving me effective pain relief. And it's also gentle on my stomach. Because my greatest gift is giving them special moments.
New remedy for the healthy function of the nerves in the feet and legs.
I have been living with diabetes over 10 years, and the nerve pain was becoming unbearable. The numbness, the tingling, the burning became a daily challenge. A friend told me about New Remedy, and after 3 weeks of trying it, there was a marked difference.
Benfotiamine, a synthetic form of thiamine, has been scientifically shown to help relieve many of these symptoms, especially in early cognitive decline. I strongly recommend it as part of your supplement regime and for all patients with nerve problems.
I have confidence in New Remedy because it contains benfotiamine. This has been proven to help with numbness, tingling, and pain in the legs and feet.
As a pharmacist, I strongly recommend New Remedy to all my clients.
If you're experiencing nerve pain like I did, try New Remedy. It worked for me, it will work for you.
New Remedy is available at all major pharmacies nationwide.
Melt away fat, cellulite, and reduce stretch marks with Anshi Seaweed Defat Soap. Manufactured with 10 natural herbs, seaweed being the main ingredient. It draws fat and cellulite out of your body, leaving you with firmed, tightened, toned skin and a slimmer figure when used regularly. Experience the wonderful feeling in days. Notice the difference in weeks. Agents Modern Caribbean Enterprises Limited. Also available at Pennywise stores, pharmacies, supermarkets, cosmetic counters. Be sure to look for Modern Caribbean's name and logo on genuine Anshi products.
Lucozade, bring the energy. Unbeatable taste, new look.
Well, I'm so happy to have with me Dawn Ramkisoon Ali, and Dawn is here. She is the owner of Aurora Fine Delights, and let me tell you, a lady I could already tell of impeccable taste, eye for detail. She's here with her signage, and let me tell you, I'm seeing everything from the gulab jamun to the barfi, and as always, one of my favorites, the kurma. So we'll get a full insight into Dawn's business and how you can get some of the sweets for the holiday, and I would say beyond. Dawn, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. I would imagine some of these recipes, would you say handed down, or you, within your own culinary journey, was able to find your particular blend and style and deliver on some of our favorites?
Yes.
The barfi, the gulab jamun, the korma, the full works.
They are my recipes. So
Your
I would have
recipes.
seen, I would have observed, and then I would have, adapted and tweaked to my taste, and then of course my customer base, and my taste testers, of course, my children.
Well, yes, I know they probably enjoy that job.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
When did the business idea actually start? Because I would imagine you start at home, you start home, family, friends, but then you decide, time to share this with a wider audience. Walk me through that process and taking it to the business model.
I am a bit of a snap, crackle, and pop kind of person. So in January of 2018, I decided I'm going to do sweets.
All right.
Because I would have observed my mom, my aunts, and different members of the family, and I was like, it's time to get my hands into this. And that's how I started. I started with the core things here that you're seeing, the kurma, gulab jamun, the milk barfi. On my board here, you'll see that I would have branched out eventually into the coconut cherry barfi. There's another one, pistachio barfi. I didn't put that up. But yeah, those recipes are mine. Snap, crackle, and pop. I'm going to do Indian sweets. Started with recipes, tweak, taste testing, and here I am.
I must say, Dawn, I love how you're doing the kurma, because the kurma is almost as a bite-sized kurma.
Indeed it is.
So let me get in on it one time. Dawn work with all the necessary tools so I could add it nicely. Look at the plate now. Is the plate rich, or the plate that tell you attention to detail here? I feel so regal. This is royal treatment. Look at this. It's a bite-sized kurma. Look at that right there. Oh, nice.
Thank you.
Not overly sweet, just the right consistency.
Yes.
Yeah. You do it like this, or if somebody wants the traditional, the kind of long kurma, how you go about it?
Well, funny that you say traditional long kurma, because growing up, this was traditional for us. The small ones.
Sure.
Yes, because my maternal grandmother, being Muslim, that's what they grew up making. And I saw my mom doing it, so I was like, okay, this is the one that I'd like to do. Also, there's a certain level of decadence to this one. It's a richer base, and richer being more milks. It's not any water in there at all. So it's the evaporated milk, the condensed milk. I have a very nice spice profile where I put cardamom, ginger, spice, and nutmeg inside of there.
That's the nutmeg, that's what I'm getting here.
You probably getting a bit of all.
Yes, because again, it's not overly sweet, I guess.
No, I manage the sweetness. Because you notice the coating, it's not heavy. It's just enough.
So I would imagine, to me, I look at this and I know this is a science. Walk me through the consistency, being able to finally fine-tune your recipe and get it the same way most times.
Well, the important thing about getting the end result to be the same is having a fixed recipe. So after all your tweaks and you get to that sweet spot, you say, okay, you document it, and this is what I'm going with. And when I have large orders, I don't expect to just say, all right, I'm just going to make this a bigger batch. No. The key to a good recipe and a good end result is maintaining your batch size. So we say today I want to make 5 pounds of kurma, this is my recipe. Tomorrow I want to make 10 pounds of kurma, it's this recipe 2 times.
Okay.
Yeah?
In terms of, let's say, a big order, wedding, a corporate event, what's the most you could churn out if somebody wants, like, let's say, a really big order, or what probably was the biggest order to date so far?
To date, I would have done about 900 bags.
900 bags?
For a corporate client. Yeah.
You have help when you order that big to bag out all of that?
Yes, I do get help for the bagging, but I don't get help for the making. Everybody strongly believes that my hands need to be in it.
Yes.
Because if anybody's hands go into it, it's all over Grover.
Amazing. So let me find out, in terms of delivery, is it a brick and mortar or something, or is it you call and then you do the sweets, the delicacies, and you deliver. What's the business model in terms of getting the product?
Right. So to contact us, first of all, you can do by phone or Instagram, Facebook. There's also a TikTok page. You make your call or you do the WhatsApp confirmations. We can deliver to you. You can pick up. I do not have a front store. You know, so the social media presence is what advertises for me. You know, you see it if you want to do a taste test, that kind of thing. We can arrange that.
So you have like a courier, something going on, like in terms of deliveries?
Yes, that is always arranged. I have children.
Well,
adult children. Who are always willing to help.
I'm so glad that they help you with the business too. That's so important. That's so important. And I know they're probably so proud of you being able to, I guess, share what they would have grown up and enjoyed now with a wider audience. I mean, this is amazing. I must say, this milk barfi, oh, it's barfin. It is barfin. I mean, that's not a word, but walk me through. I mean, again, not too sweet, very consistent, light on the palate, melting in your mouth. What's the ingredients in a barfi? What are you telling?
Generally, barfis have a base. So it's the full cream milk powder, the dairy cream that you combine and you crumble, and then traditionally people will run it through a sieve, but I found that method kind of, you know, compromises your fingers. So against better judgment, people will say you need to, but I was like, no, I put it in the food processor.
Okay.
Yeah, and I get it down to that very, very, very fine crumble. Then of course you do your sugar syrup, and while your sugar syrup is going, you add your spices to your mix. And I would put the ginger powder and ground cardamom, and I also always put ghee in there.
Always put some ghee.
Yes.
And this is baked. All these are baked.
No, they're fried.
Fried.
The kurma and the gulab jamun are fried, and the milk barfi, you do the dry mix, and then you add the hot sugar syrup, which is to, like, you might have heard people refer to the one thread consistency. You add that in and you mix it all together, combine really nicely. I like to go with a pour-in type, a heavy pour. Consistency, level it out. I don't beat it. I don't like beating the barfi. No. And level it out, and then I apply sprinkles. If it's the coconut cherry and the others, well then, you know, you incorporate those other ingredients in the dry mix.
I look at that Friday. I mean, again, because I come from a genuine place of seeking knowledge, wanting to know. I just know how these things taste, but I don't know what's prepared. And I'm going to sample now as they say, the fat kurma or the gulab jamun. Well, gulab jamun, they also call it fat kurma, right?
Yes.
Yes, let me. Oh. So, Dawn, you fried this last night? This tasted real fresh. This tasted like this do within the last 48 hours. Look at this. When did you do this?
I did it the night before.
I know that. I tasted it. I tasted in the hand. You know this recent. Oh, it's nice. I'm gonna eat the whole thing. Bear with me. In terms of orders, how much time you need? Because you know, Chinese, we love our last minutes. Folks are watching us today. They might want to have some delicacies tomorrow. They're all excited. Could you do a quick turnover like that? Or you need what? 48 hours or 4 days? What's your business model like in that regard?
A small order, give me 3 days. A large order, give me 7 days.
Yeah.
Because I have to do start to finish.
Yeah,
start to finish is procurement. I have to go get all my ingredients together and make sure I have the time, because I do have a full-time day job. So I have to fit the sweets business into my schedule.
What's the prep like? Which one takes the most prep? Because I know, you know, for anybody who is in the kitchen, you know, bringing a product forward, you know, one is coming together. That's the beautiful part. All the ingredients come together and you get your finished product. But it's the prep, the cutting, the rolling, the weighing. Walk me through which one is the most tedious when it comes to prep.
The prep is not really the issue.
It's not so much
time. Yeah, the time comes with the milk barfi.
Oh, the milk. Okay.
Because when you have that hot batter, you have to let that now set, cool. Cool not to this consistency that you have here, but cool to a consistency where you could start marking it for the final cut. So sometimes that could take 4 to 6 hours for it to get to that consistency. When you make that, you have to have time to babysit.
Wow. Look at that. So you have to be on it. You have to be actually
Yes.
there.
Yes. Watching it, making sure, okay, now is the time. And you cut.
And how you know when is the time? Is that based on experience? The timing of it?
Not really the timing, but how it looks until the touch.
Yeah, the experience.
Yes.
Experience. That's where the experience comes in.
I'll let everybody in on a little secret here. When you now pour it into your tray, it's glistening, nice, bright, and shiny. And when it's almost ready to cut, it starts to get a little dull to the surface.
Yeah.
And that's how you know it's almost there.
That's right. Timing is everything.
Yes.
So don't walk me through orders. As well, I mean, as you said, you need your prior notice per se. But which one, based on your years in the business, is the top seller? Which one out of what you offer is the most requested?
The three. They go together. We're having a function. What do you have to offer? Can we get kurma, milk barfi, gulab jamuns? Those are the traditional three.
And that's why you offer the mixed sweets?
Yes.
This year?
Yep.
So it's literally the barfi, kurma, and the gulab jamun?
Yes.
All in one?
Correct.
And look at your price list. Walk me through some of the prices now. We're seeing it on screen here.
So my milk barfi is $72 a dozen. The gulab jamun, $60 a dozen. Kurma, $45 per pound. The coconut cherry barfi and the pistachio barfi, those are $120 per dozen because the ingredients are more and they cost more for production.
When's your busiest time of the year?
Busiest time would be Diwali for sure, takes first place, and Eid takes second place.
Fantastic. Fantastic, I will imagine. And I would imagine too, during the year, weddings, birthday parties, people will have their requests. This is something that growing up in Trinidad, you get a chance to really enjoy cuisine and that variety. I mean, I grew up in Komoto, next to Nari, and I remember, especially for Diwali and stuff, all the sweets, and you just as a child, you're enjoying it. You don't really know, as I get older now, you can get into find out how it's prepared, but these bring me back to so many fun childhood memories. Trust me, Don. Trust me. You don't believe it's taking me back right here.
And that is one of my objectives. When you get my product, you're going to be reminded of home, grandma, auntie, whoever used to bring this to the table for you. That is the impact I'd like to bring back.
Are these sweets indigenous to Trinidad, or could one go to India or Pakistan or these places and get stuff that's similar?
Well, I like to think that my sweets are East Indian inspired. Because when you go to India, the way in which they make the very same things, their recipes are different. Their techniques might be different.
Taste different too?
Yes, they will taste different. Yeah, so for me, I would not say that these are authentic Indian sweets. They are East Indian inspired.
That's right. We've put our Trini flavor on it and spin on it. We're doing. Again, let me just give you a chance to put all the contact information up, from the number to your online details. Oh gosh, all your nights. Right there. All the information up. Put it up there one time. All your contact details.
It's here.
Yeah. No, we could.
You want me to say it out?
Yeah.
So by phone or WhatsApp, it's 680-1520. Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, you just go to handle at Aurora Fine Delights.
Why can we put the name Aurora? What's the significance behind that name? It seems very intentional.
It is very intentional. Interesting that you picked up on that.
I mean, listen. From the pull up, I realize you're a woman of fine detail. You pay attention to detail. Talk about Aurora before we wrap things up.
Well, my name is Dawn, and Aurora is the goddess of sunrise. And when I started off the business, I wanted to have it connected yet disconnected. So it was a way to throw things off, but then I would know the little secret behind it, and I'm very, very passionate about it.
I could tell. And I tasted, and I applaud you.
Thank you.
I want to tell you, keep forging on, Aurora, onto great things. Again, remember the name, Aurora Fine Delights, and their owner, Dawn Ramkisoon Ali, touching base. Oh, it's nice, I enjoyed myself this morning. All the best to you and your family, and happy Indian Arrival Day.
Thank you very much, and the same to you.
That's right. With that, we get ready for more moving our way to 8 o'clock. Again, this second hour, easy, fun, and a chance for you to just enjoy in the holidays. We take a pause and come right back.
There's a hole in the bucket.
Well, fix it, dear Johnny, just fix it. And while you're doing that, remember the roof is leaking, the house need painting, all those kitchen tiles need changing. So tell me, Johnny, what about the plumbing? The driveway needs paving. Plus, you promised to add a new room to the house. I find it's about time. Johnny, fix it.
There has never been a better time for a TBLA home improvement loan. Call us today at 623-1501 or visit us at tblamortgages.com.
Heart disease is the #1 cause of death in Trinidad and Tobago, driven by 2 silent threats, diabetes and high cholesterol. But now there's a powerful ally, introducing Berberine Plus by Asia Nutrition, clinically proven to stabilize blood sugar and keep cholesterol levels in check. With 99.9% pure extract, you get superior absorption and real results. Available now at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Berberine Plus. Your heart deserves better.
Okay, let me see you, Cherry Hill. Yeah, now take it back. Let me see you rock off, shake off, shake off. Let me see you rock off, rock off. Let me see you kick right. Now step forward, now step back.
Lucozade, bring the energy.
Rock off,
unbeatable
rock
taste,
off.
new look.
Shake off. Let me see you rock off, rock off.
Sportsmanship is when an athlete walks off the court and you can't tell if he won or lost because he carries himself with pride either way. This quote is an embodiment of sport, and for me, sport is an embodiment of life. We are where you are.
Get the story first. Want to know what's happening in news, sports, or crime? Get the CNC3 app. As the story breaks, CNC3 is there giving you the story first on your mobile device. Be connected to the most trusted and reliable news source, CNC3. Access your world with just a tap. The CNC3 app. Download it today.
All filmmakers, producers, content creators, influencers, and recording artists. If you're looking to rent a versatile studio space with green screen, video wall, cyclorama, and more, look no further. GM Labs is here to make your dreams a reality. Located in the heart of Port of Spain on St. Vincent Street, GM Labs is your one-stop shop for all your creative needs with over 2,800 square feet to work with. Take your creative concept to the final product at GM Labs. Give us a call or WhatsApp or message us on our Instagram and Facebook pages at GM Labs TT.
My own personal motto is to show citizens of this country that our stories can be told in a professional and international standard. I want to show them that the journalism they consume on cable TV can also exist here. Each day, that's my focus, that's my drive, to show the stories of our communities, of our people, matter just as much as anywhere else in the world. That's why we are where you are.
Yes, indeed. You know, what is Indian Arrival Day without song, without the musical experience that is so rich, and it's a major part of our fabric. And in that regard, we want to welcome from Avatar, the band, Ashke Kandu. Ashke is here with us, touching bass, just not only to sing this morning, but just to, I guess, give us a little insight into your entry into the music, and I guess what was the major, I guess, you know, there's always this particular moment, Ashke, where, you know, you might be singing at home, your friends, your family know you could sing it, but it takes a different kind of courage to step into the light and say, you know what, you want to share this talent with our audience. So, happy Indian Arrival Day to you, and I look forward to our little discussion with the history. Welcome.
Pleasant good morning to each and everyone. I must say it is indeed an honor to be here in CNC3, especially with you, JW.
Respect, my brother, respect.
So, I was inspired by my father. He's also a singer.
All right.
So I started from a very tender age. From age 8, I actually recorded my first cover version in FM studios when I was 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah. And what encouraged us a lot is stuff like Mastana Bahar, the Diwali Nagar, NCIC Youth Charm, those type of things. So these competitions kind of brought us closer to our culture.
Yeah, that's right. You know, the platform was there. Is there still major platforms for, let's say, you know, the young Ashke, the Ashke, somebody similar to you right now, who's also 10, wanting to sing, coming up through the ranks? Is there still a platform for that within the space?
Of course, yeah. There's Mastana Bahar is still around. There are a number of different organizations like the NCIC Youths. It have the Mahatma Gandhi Institute by Mount Hope there as well.
Excellent.
Which offers a lot of different opportunities for the younger upcoming singers.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Was it difficult for you to get the pronunciation, the announce, you know, the articulation, the words, the language? Walk me through learning the music as a young man coming up.
Yeah. So it was challenging because, I mean, we are Trinidadians, you know, we have to kind of pronounce, and everything, there's a certain way to pronounce and enunciate everything.
Yeah.
Right. So me personally, I first started, like, my dad trained me a little bit, like these simple stuff, like the alankaras, those type of things. And then my first tutor was Rajesh Kilkarji. A good friend of mine brought him down, and, you know, we had 1 or 2 classes, followed by Dr. Ruby Malik. And currently, my guru is Dr. Sadhana Brahmabhat from Agra, India.
Fantastic. In terms of today's musical journey, what you're going to give us today, and what's within the genre, as it were, is it more like a sentimental, something more upbeat? What's the genre we're going to experience today?
So I must say big up to my team, Avatar the band. Wheezy, he's the leader of our band. We have been putting out a lot of different cover versions that kind of incorporate both, right? So upbeat, and you're given that sentiment, you're feeling that, you know, energy. So I along the lines of everything. I'm a Trinidadian, so it's chutney soca, Bollywood, it's bhajans, it's everything.
Nice. Fusion, as it were.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, as always, I have the mic right here, and Ashke, this is for you to just, you know, bless us with your talent and your amazing voice. And when we come back after the performance, we're going to get some social media details as to how you could find Ashke and book not only Ashke but Avatar the band in your celebration. So sit back, relax, and enjoy its music on this your Indian Arrival Day holiday.
Thank you.
से भी
Yes, man. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Hey, let me tell you, not only going to get one today, no, you're going to get two. But before we go there, in terms of how you go about, is it you're part of the band? Do you do individual shows? Walk me through your particular music business model.
So my main goal is basically showing love and that type of thing, right? So I'm with the band, I'm with animals at the same time.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
So basically, my manager, Kishore Wizi Ramdat, takes my bookings. He takes bookings for the entire band and everything.
Excellent.
So he's basically the booking agent, booking manager, everything. Yeah.
Excellent. What was the before we get into the next song? What was the meaning and sentiment behind the first song? What did it say? What did the words say?
So the first song is basically someone who is in love with someone, right? They're so deeply in love, but that person is either far away or gone. Yeah.
Okay. And the second song, what we're going to experience now with the second selection?
This is another love song. This is a recent release from Avatar the band.
All right.
Right? And this song basically is this guy writing a letter to this girl, and this letter becoming poetry. So he's describing her in different ways. He's describing how much he wants to be with her and that type of vibe.
Yeah, love is in the house. Ashke can do touching base. Let's take in the second selection. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
जो खत तुझे वो तेरी याद में हजारों रंग के नजारे बन गए लिखे जो खत तुझे वो तेरी याद में हजारों रंग के नजारे बन गए सवेरा जब हुआ तू फूल बन गई जो रात आई तो सितारे बन गए लिखे जो खत तुझे see the way you moved across the floor like nothing I've ever seen before shadows dancing in your eyes beautiful and dark surprise underneath the neon कोई नगमा कहीं गूंजा का दिल में ये तू आई कहीं झटकी करी कोई मैं ये समझा तू शर्माई कोई खुशबू कहीं बिखरी लगाए जुल्फ़े रहराई लिखे जो खत तुझे वो तेरी याद में हजारों रंग के नजारे बन गए सवेरा जब हुआ तू फूल बन गई जो रात आई तो सितारे बन गए लिखे जो खत तुझे I see the way you moved across the floor like
That's right. Ashkay touching base with us on this, the Indian Arrival Day celebration, the day before the actual holiday. What's your actual plan for tomorrow? What you normally do for the Arrival Day?
So Avatar Band is booked out both tomorrow and Sunday.
Where we can find you all? Where you're going to be?
So tomorrow we'll be in with the Honorable Michelle Benjamin in her corridor competition in Barakpur Kunjal Recreational Ground, and on Sunday we're going to be with Devish Maharaj in Arangwez.
Excellent. Booked and busy. Important. And how can folks keep in touch in terms of following your music, the band? How they're going to find you online?
Of course, you can follow us on all of the social media platforms, Akshay Kandu and Avatar the Band. You can find them in all of the different platforms as well.
Happy Indian Arrival Day, bro.
Thank you so much.
Ashkay.
And happy Indian Arrival Day to each and everyone.
We take that pause, we come back and keep it within the vein of the culture. Some tassa to take us up to 8 o'clock. See you soon.
Nothing I've ever seen before. Shadows dancing in your eyes.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry, premier insurance coverage for less.
Introducing Advancis Energy Vitamins. Advancis Energy Vitamins is designed to give you the extra push you need to power through your day. It's not just any multivitamin, packed with more than 20 vitamins and minerals with added ginseng and reinforced prebiotics. A unique synergistic formula that you will find nowhere else to help you experience more sustained energy, feel more alive and alert to keep you going strong all day long. See the difference now with Advancis Energy Vitamins. Available at leading pharmacies and Pennywise nationwide.
Legends need to be celebrated while they can still hear the applause. Trinidad and Tobago, let's show our appreciation for this Calypso giant in Thank You, David. Saturday, June 6th at Napa, Port of Spain. Sunday, June 7th at Sapa, San Fernando. 2 nights, one legend, countless unforgettable songs. Celebrating King David in his presence and performing some of his many hits include Roger George, KV Charles, Kriston Joseph, Terry Lyons, Adrian Filbert, Irvin Alves, Chuck Gordon.
Special guests for Napa is Super Bandman, Dane Gulston, and the Lydian Singers.
Special guest for Sapa is world record holder Joshua Regrillo and the Southern Air Choir. MC Sonny Bling.
Tickets bought by this Saturday, 30th May, cost $25 less if stocks last. For more info, call 491-1802.
Thank you, David.
Panadol's new formula, 5 times faster than other paracetamol brands. There's no time to waste during special moments. When I need fast pain relief, I choose Panadol Rapid. With its new formula and exclusive technology, it's 5 times faster than other paracetamol, giving me effective pain relief. And it's also gentle on my stomach. Because my greatest gift is giving them special moments.
The fact that they ask the questions, those challenging questions that no other media house would ask. So, shed light on those things that are in the dark, those stories that no one else wants to cover.
I grew up reading The Guardian, actually. It's a household name.
About The Guardian, one thing that I like, the human interest stories have increased.
See the investigative pieces on the human trafficking. I find that very interesting.
You go more in depth.
On sports, especially local sports, and that's one of my highlights for The Guardian.
Yeah, I read in Guardian, and The Guardian started coming out, started working. I was a newspaper man.
Could the stories that are being covered are well detailed and they get more facts.
Also, I think the editorials, I think they're doing a good job on this speaking the truth, and they're challenging the government to make things better.
Me in particular, of recently, the last 2-3 months, I've been reading The Guardian. I'm seeing a lot of news about the neighborhoods and the communities, and I even saw my community featured, and I was proud.
Oh, The Guardian.
The Guardian?
Guardian.
Trinidad Guardian.
The Guardian.
The Guardian.
Trinidad Guardian. The Guardian is my first choice.
Oh my goodness. Just having a nice time here with the guys from the Shooting Stars Tassa Group. And they've been, from what I understand and from what I'm seeing here, making major waves, especially when we consider the Best Village competition, 3-time winners. And of course, we want to welcome, in no particular order, we have Akash, Daniel, Riyad Mohammed, Arvin Williams, and Nicholas Mohammed. These guys are truly amazing. I'll put all their information up, so if you want to book them for your celebration, make sure, remember the name, the Shooting Stars Tassa Group from Frederick Settlement in Caroni. Fellas, let the Tassa roll. Shooting Stars? Shooting Stars, well done. You know, I actually have the number to call. Do we have it up on screen? Yes, let's put it up. That's it right there. 467-1297. These guys are champions in their regard. And again, Tassa, very integral to not only the Indian Arrival Day experience, but the entire Trinidad and Tobago experience. Tassa, we love it. It's part of the fabric. And fellas, continued great work. All the best and happy Indian Arrival Day to you and the team. On that note, we make our exit. It's been a tremendous week, a great time. And by all means, God spare, I'm back for more next week. Oh, you mean? We can roll something as we leave it, or roll it again, man. Roll it
You're watching CNC3. As an affiliate of CNN International, we now join their current programming.
Now, the dangerous mission underway to